Hello, guys, and welcome back to the D's Don't Get Degrees podcast.
The D's Don't Get Degrees podcast. That's the name of our podcast.
I blanked just because we had just talked about, I had just mentioned that other podcast, so immediately I wanted to say the other name.
That would have been pretty funny. You would have had to edit that out, but it would have been hilarious. Yeah. I'm Dominic.
I'm Jessica.
And we're back. Episode 7. Yeah, 7. Yep. Yeah. We're here. This week, I'm just gonna jump right into it, because this week I had a couple interviews for other jobs.
I didn't think that's what it was gonna be. I thought you. Never mind. That's bad. I thought you were gonna be like this week. Never mind. I won't say it. Go ahead. You had a couple interviews.
Yeah, I had a few other interviews, just entertaining other jobs, just in case the possibility that I might maybe want to leave mine. You know, like I feel like if you're talented at what you do, you entertain other. You know, I'm like a.
Wait, what? I need to.
It's like I was kind of treating this kind of like a free agency in professional sports. So.
Oh, is this that thing? Oh my God, I already forgot. I'll take my talents elsewhere.
Yeah, I'm taking my talents down to South Beach, LeBron's. No.
So good. I wish I could use that in a job.
I'm very much considering like the next time I have to quit somewhere, legit just saying it, being like, yeah,
I'm gonna take my talents elsewhere.
Yeah, but not.
You gotta get a weave so that you can like some sass, like toss it over your shoulder.
That'd be funny. No, but yeah, I had like I think a total of. I mean, if you include because I had a couple different kinds. If you include the phone interviews and this one interview where I had they sent me questions and I had to video record my answers. That was really weird. Yeah, it was strange. But if you include all those, I think I had a total of like 4 or 5 different interviews this week.
Wow. This week,
yeah.
So not in total, because I've been
interviewing for a little while. This was the heaviest week, clearly.
Okay.
But I think the week before, I also had like one phone interview, and before that I had like one other in-person one or whatever. Not a whole lot, but yeah, this one was a pretty heavy one. Did a lot of dressing up, a lot of like business professional dressing up, printing out the resumes. You know, it's the normal like whatever you gotta do for interview stuff. Show up to this place at this time. Most of them were kind of right? It was like, okay, I mean, because I applied to a lot of different jobs that like I did the thing where I go on like different job recruiting sites or whatever, like Indeed or ZipRecruiter or whatever you, because there's a bunch of them you can use, right?
Yeah.
And they send your resume out, and then they kind of match you up with like, oh, like this employer liked your resume, so they want to bring you in for an interview. I'm like, okay, cool. Like technically, I didn't even have to apply to these. So I was thinking in my head, you know what? If they really like me and what I've done that much, my little experience in customer service, like might as well entertain them and see what it's about. But being there, I realized, there's a couple instances this isn't really what I want to do.
Yeah.
And
well, is it because you don't get to pick, right? Like you don't get to. Does it give you the option to like let's say that you have done customer service this whole time, but you want to get into like the food industry?
You do get a chance to pick, but those are like harder because that's what you have to do manually to go like for example, if I wanted to right now, I can get on Indeed and they could ask, I could go like back to the homepage and they'll be like, oh, what do you like? Type in a keyword and I can say, restaurant.
Okay. But you have to go and seek those as opposed to these that were kind of coming to you.
The ones that come to me are like based on my resume and what I've done.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
And it's kind of like, if you're cool with what you've been doing, then it's easy. It's just flowing from one. Like if I was cool with leaving this commission retail place and going to another one, easy. I probably would already have a job. Easy. Yeah. Like moving from job to job, let's do it. But considering I kind of think I want to try something a little different, it's been a little tougher finding quality interviews, I guess I'll say. I had a couple with some banks that were actually pretty good. I like that.
I think I want to work at a bank.
I think that was pretty.
I told my mom that, and she was like, "Dude, do it. Banks get days off for like everything."
That's so funny because when I first told my mom that I want to work at a bank, and this is probably like a couple years ago, she was like, "Don't do it. You're gonna get robbed." Not me get robbed.
You're gonna get robbed.
Not me. I'm not gonna get robbed, but like I'm gonna be there.
Yeah, you're gonna be there when someone.
Yeah, and she's like,
nah, my mom was all about the money and also the time off.
Yeah, that's true. I'm all about the money and the time off. But it was one in particular, and I've never had this happen to me before.
You're gonna get robbed?
Not literally me, but
I know, but how often does she think that like banks get?
I told her, I was like, it's 2018. You know, most of it is digital now, right?
Yeah.
Like there's some people who go to banks to cash checks, and like to do like some things you have to.
I can't think of the last time I walked into a bank. I just fucking go through the little drive.
I do it now only because there's a bank super close to my house, so it's kind of easy. But I mean,
but
if
you go inside the bank.
I think I did only a few times with like random things. Like one was like, oh, I lost my debit card and I had to get another one. I did it when I applied for the credit card way back like last year.
I did that all online.
I know you can, but I guess I was just like, for some reason I felt more comfortable about signing away my future, looking somebody in the face.
Yeah.
When they tell me everything's gonna be okay.
I guess that was my issue. I should have gone. And they could have been like, hey, be responsible. But I didn't get that, so I just fucking
it didn't help. It didn't help. Like my card isn't. You know, we're on the same boat. I'm pretty sure. But I mean, yeah, I had one that was interesting because I kind of started to fall in love with the job as I was at the interview. It was so strange. Like I was there, and I was like, okay, this is gonna be cool. The hours are gonna be nice. It was a bank thing. I know the hours will be nice. It's actually not that far from my house. Everything lined up. Then when she was telling me about the job, I was like my eyes were getting bigger. I was getting excited. I was like, whoa, like this sounds like something I genuinely. And it's nice because I don't think I've ever You've
never been like that about a job?
Never. Yeah. Like when I first started there.
I think
like,
so.
No, I'm not gonna lie. When I worked at Nordstrom. When I first started, I was at the Rack, you know, which is like their little shorter, smaller stores or whatever, right? Like they don't work on commission or anything. They just they're like a glorified like Ross with a little bit of that Nordstrom attitude that we'll still help you, but we're not getting paid commission, so we're not gonna help you that much, right?
Right.
I first started there in the company, and it was cool, but at first I didn't really like it, but eventually I grew to like it, right? But I had to grow to like it on the job. The interview, I was like, I mean, this is cool, I guess. Like
my first 3 months at Target, I liked because I thought I was only going to be there those 3 months.
Aww.
So I was like, it was kind of exciting. It's so busy and they hire so many people. So half the time I could like,
what did you think
not
was gonna
do
happen?
anything.
Like, I know you went there seasonal. What did you think was going to happen?
Well, because the whole time I interviewed, they were like, we want to make sure you know that this isn't like a permanent thing. Like, you're only going to be with us until the end of the year. Yeah. Like, they were at no point were they like, we might offer you like a chance to stay. And even throughout those 3 months, no one ever came up to me to say like, oh, you're doing really good. Have you thought about maybe wanting to work here like full time or like, no one ever said anything until January hit. And I went up and was like, hey, so do I still have a job? Like, what's the deal? And they were like, oh, are you still on the schedule? And I was like, oh yeah. I mean, for the next 2 weeks. Yeah. And they were like, okay. And that was it. And then they just kept putting me on the schedule.
I feel like most places like that, like Target, Walmart, any place that really any kind of retail place that has like, I guess just sees the idea of like seasonal workers. You'd be surprised how hard it is to actually find like good seasonal workers. Like that's kind of a weird thing to say, but it's true. Like,
the only one in my department that didn't quit.
I was the only one in my little like seasonal class at Nordstrom Rack I think there was 2 of us who legit didn't quit or get fired or anything. Yeah. Because like a lot of those people, I guess people see seasonal and they treat it like, oh, whatever. Like I'm not going to make it anyway. And they just don't show up to work. I mean, that's how,
I didn't showed up and everything, but I treated it that way. I was like, oh, this is just fun. Like, look at all these people running in the store on Black Friday. Look at how crazy Christmas is.
That was not fun. I'm glad you did.
Well, that's because I was making a lot of money. I was, at the time, it felt like a lot of money. I was putting in overtime, like, and not really doing much. I would show up and just like chill. Yeah. And then once I was like, oh, I'm here for good. Damn. I guess I got to do my job now.
Did you ever think that you be reminiscing back like, man, Target, the good old days?
I'm not.
That's what it sounded like. It's a joke, but that's what it sounded like.
Christmas of 20 whatever year that was a decent Christmas.
Yeah, hey, you're right.
I had a lot less like money to pay back also, so all that money was kind of like spending money.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah,
that was great. No, but I mean, I don't know. Interviews are. It was an interesting week. They're kind of eventually. I don't want to seem cocky or boring or whatever. But it's like once you get, I think maybe it's just my industry, like being in customer service. Like I know the right answers to give. Yeah. So I didn't really have to stress about any of them. It's just like you show up, you say, I'm willing. I want to get an environment where I can grow with the company or like grow as a person.
Companies love hearing that.
Yeah, you tell them you want to grow. You tell them that you're willing to learn. You tell them that you prioritize customer service over anything else. You tell them you're self-motivated and like guarantee you'll get the job.
Yeah.
Easy. Like it's done, you know?
I'm going to hold you to that next interview. If I don't get it, I'll be like, what happened to the guarantee, fam? I said all the right things.
That means somebody said the right things, but better. Or maybe they're dressed better. I don't know.
Wow. You get real bold during the podcast because this kind of shit never comes out of your mouth.
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't even mean it that way. I think maybe you just get sensitive during the podcast. You know, maybe you just get sensitive. Maybe you just like
you dead ass called me fat like a few podcasts back.
did not.
Yes, you did.
I listened to that episode.
You did. Oh my god, you did.
You know I didn't.
I'm gonna call up some people and have them back me up on this because you did. And I was like, okay, so we're fat shaming now. Twitter, cancel this man.
No, please.
So anyways, my weekend was pretty fun.
Eventful, yeah.
Technically, it was our weekend.
No, absolutely. The first part of it was, I also had a pretty good time on the weekend. It was a good balance for me because it felt like the week itself was all just like dressing up in like suits and going to work and going to interviews and whatever, right? But the weekend was just like partying, just straight fun, good times.
I wasn't looking for that this weekend. I just wanted to have like a little relaxing weekend.
Yeah.
So we decided to go see one of our really good friends in College Station.
Yep, College Station, Texas.
College Station, Texas. It's about an hour and a half from Houston, Texas. For those of you that may not know.
Yep, College Station is a unique little town in that the only major landmark they have there is a university. Yeah. Makes sense. That's why they call it College Station, I guess. But all they really have is A&M. Like, that's it. There's like 2 Walmarts.
We learned. I thought there was only one, but there's 2
Walmarts. Holy there's a Target and there's a few bars here and there, and there's just a whole lot of land. I'm talking like empty land, not like, these are, empty buildings.
Brown.
It's just I was thinking more green. It's just greenery everywhere. It's just like hills. The hill on the
I guess
way.
I'm thinking of all the buildings. All the buildings are the same shade of like beige.
Yeah. It's just random buildings there, and then the drive there is actually the difficult part because the drive there. Luckily we had each other. Yeah, luckily we had each other to keep each other company, talk about stuff, whatever. Yeah, of course, but. In general, it's
That'd
nothing.
Be interesting. I wonder if we can film a podcast while on the road.
I thought about while we were doing it. I was like, we could record it.
It wouldn't be too hard.
I'm pretty sure we could do it. I think it might be some better equipment than we
Dangerous.
have. Okay, a little bit. I mean, not necessarily. If we like legit set it up the right way and like had like microphones just there, not necessarily holding them up to our face, but just there and just talking like whatever.
I've seen people do it. That's something for another episode. But yeah, we went to College Station. The drive sucked. The place is still as Texan as I remember it.
Yes. Yeah. So if you
the good part was that our bestie was there.
Right. If you didn't know, Jessica actually attended A&M for a little while.
For a semester.
Yep.
I was there for a semester, and it was garbage. Actual garbage. The place sucks so bad.
I still can't say anything about the actual university because I didn't go there, but. I've been at College Station itself a few different times now, and I can say it ain't nothing there. Like it's I mean,
we went to what is it called? Northgate.
Yes, Northgate is their little version of 6th Street, but a lot smaller.
Yeah, but that was not that bad.
No, I liked it a lot. Just because it's smaller doesn't mean anything.
But I think it's because it's the principle of like, alcohol will make any party a good party.
I think it was actually it's everything you could want in like a little bar area, a little bar street, because it's like they had a couple different bars, they had a couple hookah bars, they had a lot of people there. There was a lot of people because that's just where every young person
because there's nowhere else for them to go.
Every young person within like a 30, 40, 50 mile radius just gathers there because there's nothing else to do at all. Like it's gonna sound, you're gonna listen to this and be like, man, they're exaggerating. No, anybody who thinks that, go visit College Station and then let us know like how much fun you had doing whatever it is outside Northgate. Because I guarantee, unless I take that back, unless you're super into just
like hunting, shooting your guns.
Yeah, driving.
Looking at cows.
I'm pretty sure, we don't know, but I'm pretty sure there's a place to go mudding there. I'm just guessing.
I'm sure there's many places. That's their primary like recreational activity. Everyone goes mudding.
But we did find one cool thing to do outside of Northgate. Was we found a little like vineyard to go to.
Oh my God,
wine tasting. Yeah, that was fun. Yes, we went
wine tasting
for the first. That was cool.
So cute.
It was interesting because all three of us, none of us are big wine people. We're just like,
yeah, because I'm not like a soccer mom. I'm not, a 30-year-old.
Right,
woman.
We'll get there at some point.
Right,
but not.
I can still handle like hard liquor.
Yeah, it's like, why would you get wine if you? Nah, I'm not gonna do that. But
no, but like all the situations in where I drink, period.
Right.
There's no. I'm not gonna go to a bar and order a glass of wine.
Exactly. It's funny. I've actually ordered red sangrias at different bars before.
Trash.
They just taste really good. They do. Like, it's just a really good tasting.
But we actually so we had the wine tasting was like 5 each, and we were all trying each other's wine. So in total, all of us tried 15 wines.
Yes, and they weren't just like
a variety of a bunch of different shit.
And they weren't just little Dixie cups or whatever. These were like glasses each.
Yeah, maybe like half a glass.
Half a glass each of like
of 15 different wines.
Yeah, so it was definitely a good time. Got kind of rowdy. No, I'm just kidding. We didn't get rowdy, but it definitely was a good time.
There was a lot of giggles. I felt like the more we drank, the nicer the lady that was serving us got.
I felt that way too, but I also thought she was just kind of nice. But who knows?
Oh, I was like, maybe it was in my imagination.
Well, she was working on tips, so there's that.
Was she really?
Yeah, there's a little tip jar up there.
Did not see that.
Don't worry,
I tipped her. I just didn't realize that
we tipped her with our debit card, but she had a little tip jar there too. So I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
It was fun, and we ended up actually buying a bottle of like their most popular white wine.
Yes,
which I didn't think would be the case. I thought I would for sure end up liking. I really liked the chocolate one, but both of you didn't like it.
I'm not into dessert wine.
It was like a chocolate raspberry one,
and I didn't think
so good.
See, it's weird because I'm a person who loves. Like, if I pay for a drink, I want it to be sweet. I really do. Yeah. I want it to be sweet.
I mean, I want it to taste good. Really sweet.
Yeah, but the dessert wine is another level, right? Like, normally I have no problem with like lemonades and like little like sweet kind of, I guess what people call girl drinks or whatever.
We should go to Pluckers sometime this week.
And get the lemonade.
Yeah, you said that, and now I really want it.
I'm with it. Yeah, I'm with it. We'll see. I mean, if I can scrape together the money.
Oh yeah, you know what? Pause. I might have to wait until the week after. Just wait till you get paid. We ended up picking a white wine.
Yeah, it was really good. It was weird because when I first had it, I was like, but like other two friends, you and our other friend, loved it.
It was so good.
It was eventually I came around. I was like, and
it was like a pineapple.
What pina colada?
Pina colada.
Yes,
wine.
Pina colada. Pina.
It's like coconut and pineapple. Yeah.
Pina or pina?
Pina.
Oh, I've been.
Oh my God!
This whole time.
Do you know what pina is? It's Spanish for pineapple.
Yeah,
and it's spelled with an ñ. It's like an N with a little over it.
You know what? I remember that now from like Spanish.
And you pronounce that as
pina.
Pina, yeah. Like niña.
Yes, that makes
not
sense.
Not Nina.
I don't know why this whole time
Pina colada.
Nobody stopped. Nobody like said anything or like stopped me or whatever.
Who are you hanging around with?
Pina. We were there.
We all said it pina. I know damn well Daniel didn't say.
I'm pretty sure I didn't say pina. I'm pretty sure I said pina and like.
We just ignored you.
I guess so. That was fun though. That was a lot more fun than expected. And then later that night, we went to Northgate and just went to a hookah lounge, which was fun because I haven't had hookah in like the longest. That was a good time.
Yeah. None of us can do we can't blow O's, so that sucked. But
nope.
We can't do any tricks really. We just go in like.
I mean, we're not like smokers though. Like that's not.
Yeah, that's true.
We're not smokers. That's not our normal habitat. We just go there sometimes.
I think I'd be a little weirded out if one of us was
like
if we
smoker?
went and one of us was like doing fucking tricks and shit on the table.
It'd be strange. It'd be like, so what are you not telling us? Because that's not just something you can naturally just do. You got to like practice that. Like.
But I think it's kind of dumb. Like.
Oh, you think the tricks and stuff are dumb?
Yeah, a little.
I think they're funny the first time.
Yeah, and then it gets old.
And then the novelty of it wears off for sure. It's one of those things of like, well, what? Let me ask you this: what would you do if you went on a date with the guy to
leave?
To a
I would
bar
leave,
and he started blowing O's. You leave?
If he started blowing O's, I'd be like, "Oh, that's cute. Can you teach me?" And then if he did, that'd be like a cute little thing.
Okay.
But if he started blowing O's, and then I was like, "Oh, that's cool," and then he started doing like other little fucking weird,
the
shit.
little like
if
swirly
every
thing.
time he took like there was a trick that followed it, I'd be like, "Okay, I gotta go." Like, "Oh, I gotta go to the bathroom real quick,"
and you wait.
and then I'd dip out.
Have you ever actually done that?
No,
like
I haven't.
Oh, okay, I was like, that'd
that's
be
mean.
Yeah,
but
I feel
I'd
like
probably
that's
say
really
like,
mean. But that'd be funny.
My friend has this emergency. I gotta go.
Oh no.
That's so like
yeah, I agree.
That's so
it's
gross. I don't know why.
It's a little like next level douchey. Like it's
yeah.
No, I get it. I just think that's.
If I asked to see tricks, that'd be something different.
I was just curious because I've been on one date to a hookah bar before. It was like a couple years ago.
You did like a bunch of.
No, I didn't know.
You did the little tornado thing.
Absolutely not. I don't know. I don't know how to do it now, and I didn't know then. It's not like I was cool once and then I just forgot everything. Like,
You think that would make you cool? You think that would make you cool? You're in the bathroom reading like little articles.
I think it'd be a cool thing to just know how to do. And
no, I don't think it would be. I think it'd be like, oh, you know how to do it, and that's about it. Like, oh, okay. But I don't think anybody would look at you and be like, oh my God, he's so cool. Guys, like, gather around. Do you see what this boy's doing? Like, shit, show them those O's again. I don't think it's that cool. I think you gotta let that dream die. It's almost like,
sure.
This was a conversation that came up. It's almost like if you knew how to play the guitar, the difference between you just randomly like, oh, there's a guitar, and you fucking pick it up and you play a song and you carrying it with you everywhere and being like, hey guys, look at my, this is Wonderwall.
Wait, okay, you make that joke, but let's picture it this way: you're at a party, right? There's a bunch of like whatever dude bros everywhere because that's what you see at parties, beer pong, whatever, okay, right? Yeah. And then there's the one guy who has his guitar. You telling me
why does he have the guitar?
I agree, but you telling me he's not going to be the one that catches your attention first?
Maybe for like a second, and then I'd be like, "Oh, it's douchey," like because it is.
I agree that it is, but I mean, there's plenty of people who like it. There's plenty. That's the reason those guys bring those guitars because it works. I can
guarantee you,
it works.
I'm going home with the douchiest guy playing beer pong.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's less cringy than the guy that brought his guitar to a party.
I guarantee
his acoustic guitar.
I guarantee he's bringing somebody home. I guarantee you.
I'm sure he is. I'm sure the guy fucking doing little tricks with his hookah is also, but that doesn't make it okay. And that doesn't make it cool.
Some people think. Anyways, moving on.
Right.
But yeah, that was a pretty fun night. Then
anything else eventful this week?
This week? Well,
maybe today. For you?
For me?
Something that may have happened today? No.
I legit blanked for a second. No, okay, I got it. Yeah. Well, yeah, so remember earlier how I mentioned I went on some interviews and how I just want to test out the waters as if I'm a free agent, see where I want to take my talents next. That's because I'm looking to move. Like, I'm looking to switch teams. I'm out here. Like, so yeah. I officially gave my resignation letter in today to my actual job, my job I work at now.
It's official, guys.
I'm quitting from the moment that I posted this, about a week and a half. Yeah, from about a week and a half.
You only gave them a week and a half notice?
Yeah, it's close. I think it's like officially 11 or 12 days or something like that. So it's like close to 14, but it's not literally 14. I picked that certain date just because, like, I don't know. I picked a random date.
You don't want to work the weekend?
Well, I'm gonna work one more weekend.
Okay.
I guess, yeah, one more weekend, try and make some money, but then I'm not gonna be around for that next weekend. But yeah,
that's exciting.
It's pretty cool. I mean, it felt kind of like, I'm not gonna lie, there was definitely a moment of like, when I was typing the resignation letter, it was definitely I had to think like, okay, I'm really doing this, but it was like, you don't have to. It was like, because I technically don't have another job lined up yet, you know?
Yeah.
Like and I've never done, this is uncharted territory. I've never quit a job without having something else lined up before. I'm pretty confident that in the next week and a half, I'll at least get an offer or something from somebody. Like, I don't think, now whether that's a job that I really want to do or not, or whether I'm just forced into doing it or not is different. But that's a conversation for another podcast. But in general, for now, technically I don't have anything else lined up yet. So I put in the resignation letter. I was typing it up, and I couldn't decide if I want to actually like just go in and spill all secrets and just like not necessarily tell my manager off, but just be honest about how I felt and my experiences and stuff, or if I wanted to take the like the more professional route, like, oh, thank you for the opportunity, whatever, you know.
The same dilemma as I think Walmart.
What do you mean?
When we first, like the episode we had a while back that was all about quitting.
Oh, yeah.
I was like,
the same thing,
just fucking bail. And you were like, no, instead you went and you were very, very nice.
Yeah, the same. Yeah, I guess that's just the theme. I'm like, I don't know. And Walmart was weird because I knew for a fact never again would I end up working there. And it's been a couple years and I'm still not going back.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's just not happening.
Right.
Like, I feel like there's too many equal opportunity. Like,
is that how you justify it? Why you're polite when you quit?
Is the whole like,
what if I need to come back?
Kind of, or more just like, not necessarily even that same store, but it's like, you never know what life can throw at you, and I don't want to burn bridges. So maybe it's not even the same company, but what if it's like that manager, that person, and they remember you at like a different place you're interviewing at? You never know, because like people in management move around. Like they don't have to stay in the same, you know, like I said, the Walmart one was whatever. I literally could have just walked out of that one because I knew I didn't want to work there anymore. I already had a job, whatever. But this one, I mean, it's weird, but I could see myself possibly coming back to the company in a different role, in a different fashion, maybe like, who knows, later, you know, at some point later. Like I could see it. Definitely not as what I am now, a salesperson. No, I don't want to come back. I don't want to work at the same.
Commission-based salesperson.
Right. I don't want to come back, work as a commission-based salesperson at the mall I'm in. I don't want to work under the manager I'm at. I don't want to work in like this role. Like, no. If I did it, like I could kind of see myself working at a couple other different places, maybe even like getting into management at some point, and then coming back and being a manager here, not at this store, but at one of the racks. You know?
Oh, okay.
Because initially, and it's so funny, that was initially my actual like, that was the dream, that was a goal.
You wanted to be a manager.
Yeah, the whole reason I left the rack to come to Nordstrom, the bigger store, where we make commission and stuff, is that I was told I come here, I become a salesperson, I get good with it, I work on like my customer service skills and like problem solving and just all kinds of like whatever cheesy stuff. I learned more about the company and the way it operates, the way it does. And then in their defense, yes, I definitely learned a lot, but it did not encourage me to want to stay around and become a manager. It kind of the opposite. I'm like, no, you know what, I'm going to leave.
Well,
that's kind of what we'll get into now.
Yeah, so so if you, I don't know if it's possible to have read between the lines from just what you may have heard on the podcast.
I think it has.
Right?
I think it has.
I mean, I have been secretive, but not like super.
I'm pretty sure, I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure at least one or two people have
asked.
Yeah.
Man, people are so fucking nosy.
Yeah, I know, right? How dare we put our literal whole lives out on the internet?
Yeah, well, for those one or two people, and everybody else, I did quit in Nordstrom. It's why that whole episode happened, because I dead ass just stopped going.
Quit. Yeah, no, it was pretty funny.
Quit.
So take all. should we say that or no? I was about to. Nah, no, because you told some.
I feel like we've had way too many moments of that. Yeah. Like, should I? No, I don't think I'm gonna.
Nah, but yeah, a lot of that stuff she was saying back then about like just leave your job, just do it, quit.
That was exactly how I was feeling at the time, and how I still feel. Like, fucking leave your job, no regrets.
Yeah,
because that job sucked.
Yeah. For sure, don't stay somewhere where you're not happy. I believe it.
So I've been unemployed for about maybe 3 weeks now. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe a month. I don't know.
I think I don't know. Does it count as unemployed because you're still Lyft driving?
Oh yeah, I guess I am. I am driving for Lyft still. It's how I pay for like all my bills and stuff. I guess that counts as a job. I think
that's does Lyft?
I haven't driven in like a full week.
Here's a question. For your next job, will you put like, oh, I've been driving for Lyft, like as a on your resume? Like, I can drive.
My people skills have been improved. I've been driving for Lyft.
Hey, I mean, you leverage whatever you can in interviews, dude. Like, you can legit talk about how like you've had some unique, interesting customer interactions driving for Lyft that you wouldn't have had just working at other places otherwise.
Maybe.
I mean, if you like I said, if you could find a way to leverage it, because that's another thing, and it kind of goes back to the interview thing I talked about earlier. Even once you get good at the cookie cutter, what they want to hear answers, I think anything you can say to like make yourself sound different, then the last and the next person interviewing is going to be good. Like if you have any unique stories or any like questions or just anything that's going to make you stand out, so they remember you, I think is going to be a good thing.
But yeah, I left. I quit, and it was well worth it. I have not even a little bit regretted it. Like here's what's I know this is gonna make you mad because like you're still there, but and maybe it won't make you mad. Maybe you'll just be like, oh
yeah, okay, let's see.
I'll set an alarm in the morning, right? Because I like to go work out in the morning, get it done.
Sure.
And then I'll go and drive around for a little bit, or sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I'll take the day off. Like, I go walk the dogs, I get some errands done, do some shopping, whatever. But I'll set an alarm in the morning, and sometimes that alarm will ring, and I'll be like, nope. You know what? I'm still tired.
That does make me mad.
Let me go to bed again for another hour. And then that hour will pass by and I'll wake up and I'll be like, okay, I'm feeling better. I'll have some breakfast. And then it's like, you know what? I'm not 100%. Don't really feel like going to work out yet. Yeah. And I hop back into bed. And it's the nicest feeling.
That does make me mad.
I got to figure out what to do with my life so that I can have that every single day.
Yeah, that makes me mad because everything I
remember. I understand why that would make you mad because I remember, dude. I mean, it wasn't that long ago. It's not like I've been unemployed for years.
But no, it's I mean, so you just described your morning. Let me describe the same morning. But from my point of view, it's like, I set an alarm and it goes off and I'm like, man, I'm still tired. I kind of want to go back to sleep. Nope, I can't. I literally cannot. If I do, I'm not going to make it to work. So I got to get up. I got to rush to like get ready and get whatever for work, you know. Maybe if I'm lucky, if I wake up like an extra 30 minutes to an hour earlier, I could possibly have some breakfast or whatever. This is just like if I work in the morning, right? Like if I work in the afternoon, throw this all away, whatever. I'm sleeping in anyway, don't care. But if I work in the morning, maybe I might be able to have breakfast, but I'm constantly trying to get my clothes ready, like get ready for work, whatever, shower, all that. In between, somewhere in there, it just so happens that my dog decides she wants to wake up around the same time I wake up every morning. So I have to tie her name's Chanel. It's pretty funny.
The cutest name for a dog, Chanel.
I know, right?
And it fits her. She's so pretty.
Yeah, it fits her because she's such a bougie little... But anyways, so I have to decide her routine into mine. So like my morning, a lot of mornings with my dog aren't even like a fun, like, oh, let me take it. It's just like, hurry up and go pee so I can finish getting ready for work so I'm not late. Like it's a whole thing.
Sometimes because you know it's so hot here in Texas.
Yeah.
Sometimes if I'm really sore, like just my body's not feeling it, when I wake up in the morning, I'll go outside and like stretch.
Aww.
And like my dogs will be there and it's like a fun little morning.
That sounds
I'll come
good.
back in and have breakfast.
That sounds amazing because my mornings are just always stressful. Just every morning it's just stress.
It doesn't make me a morning person because I still like to sleep in as much as possible.
Yeah.
But it makes the process of waking up so much nicer. Not having to like, bitch, now you gotta go to work. You better put on some makeup and fix
I know
your
how
hair.
you feel about it because that's kind of how I am on my off days. Like on my off days, I'm not gonna lie, on my off days where I don't have to go to work, I legit wake up early just so I'm like, I don't want to waste any of this.
Yeah.
Like I don't even like wait because I feel like I'm at work so often that and it's not just being at work, it's, you know, the work itself is not super fun, but being at work so often when I don't have to go to work on a certain day, I don't want to waste any of it. I'm like, no, you know what? Because I used to be like, oh, you know, I'll sleep in today, but then I would wake up and it'll be like 12 or 1 o'clock and I'm like, dude, my day, like in another like 18 hours I gotta be back at work. Like, no, you know. So it's now I'm like, nah, you know what? No, I'm gonna wake up at like 7:30, 8 in the morning. I'm gonna take my dog out. I'm gonna have a good time. I'm gonna cook myself all the things you just described.
Yeah.
But I only do that about once or twice a week. So
that's me every day. Unless I have a live streak I want to hit, but that's a whole other thing. But anyways, what I wanted to talk to you about today on today's episode of Jessica and Dominic complain about their lives. This was gonna be real whiny, so get ready for us to complain like crazy. Commission sales.
Because it's, and I think that's commission sales is the main thing because it's not even like the fact that we have to go to work like, oh, we hate it, right? Like, obviously if we could live a certain type of lifestyle where we didn't have to get up and go to work, that'd be great, sure. But I also will be okay with getting up and going to work the same way I do, but enjoying what I did and getting properly, fairly compensated for what I do.
Right.
And I mean, you could say, oh, like if you hustle enough in commission,
Ooh,
you'll make their money.
I hate that. That's the mindset. That's what everyone will tell you.
That's what they think of when they hear hustling. That's what they think of. It's like, if you go out there and if you
really tried, you'd be making so much money. And it's like,
the money's out there. You just got to really work for it. And it's like,
right.
But it's not that simple. If it was that simple, everyone would do it.
Right.
If working commission sales was actually that simple, as in like you show up to work, you hustle, quote unquote hustle, and like actually work, then everybody would do it.
Our store has like hundreds of employees, but there's only like a handful of all-stars, these people that are making like good money.
You put it that way. I was gonna say our company in general, I don't know if you know this, they're kind of picky with their hiring. Like they'll do a lot of interviews. They're kind of picky with their hiring. Like there's a lot of people who I've heard apply to different stores and apply to Nordstrom several times before they get in. Like it's not like and that's what I mean. Like if it was an easy thing, if it was an easy job, whatever, and it's not hard as in physical manual labor, right? But I would describe it as,
I think it takes a special kind of like, for some people, I'm sure it's genuine, the attitude, but for some people, it's just like, it takes a special kind of bullshitter. Because that's how I got the job, right?
Okay, yeah, sure.
And that's how I stayed there, and I wasn't there for very long, but I was really friendly. I'm not naturally like I'm not naturally an ass kisser. I'm not happy making other people happy.
Yeah.
Not in this sense. I am, whatever.
There's levels
but in
to
the
it, right?
in the working. Stop. By the way, guys, I remembered. That's Kendrick Lamar. That's Humble.
Yep, Humble.
I remember that's where that line is from. But yeah, my point being that it takes a special kind of person to be able to fake the attitude that they demand from you.
Okay.
And I happen to be within that group, which is I think why the hiring process was pretty easy.
Okay, fair enough. But I think in order to survive in commission sales, and maybe not just here, maybe it's other companies, it's the same way, but I feel like there are some things maybe somewhat unique here. But I think in order to survive in general in commission sales, before you even get into the details of the company, the job, what it's like actually working here, just commission sales in general, I think it takes a certain amount of mental fortitude that I'm not sure that I have, honestly, or not yet, that I haven't developed yet. Because it's like, so you go to your regular like 9 to 5, whatever other job where you get paid salary, whatever it is, whether it's like minimum wage or way more than that, right?
Right.
You go to your regular job. You're allowed to have bad days. You are allowed to be like, they'll tell you shouldn't, but realistically, you're not going to lose your job over one bad day. You're not going to like wake up in the morning, drive to wherever, like back when I worked at Walmart, right? I could be having a bad day. I could, like, my parents could have made me mad, or like one of my friends, anything could have happened and I could be in a bad mood. I'm allowed to go to work, be in the bad mood, still get paid for showing up and putting in the work that I put and go home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Here, that's not necessarily the case. If I'm in if you are in bad mood working like this type of commission job where your attitude is half of everything, right? Like having a smile on your face is what draws in the customers so that they can like buy from you so that you can make any kind of money.
So you can get paid.
Yeah. Right. Having a bad day in that sense, you it's a good chance you won't get. You might as well stay home because you're not going to make much money that day. Like it just not going to work.
It's like you get two checks a month.
Yeah.
So when I have a bad day, or let's say I have like two bad days back to back, like a bad weekend, you know?
Because that happens to normal people. It's a
half
thing.
of the month is fucked. Like
exactly.
My check is gonna look like garbage.
Especially on the weekend, because the weekend is when the customers come in, and that's when like most of the traffic comes in. It's so much. But yeah, I think that's, for me, I think that's probably my biggest problem, is that I don't have that like mental fortitude that you really need in order to get over like to no matter what be able to put your best foot forward and just like, I'm going to sell and I'm going to make all this money today. You know, like it's.
Yeah.
And then there's also, like you said, getting more into specific details. You don't, and I don't think I do either. It's a certain type of attitude you need in order to really like, and our company is kind of specific, but let's just say the way the company works, their whole like tagline, if nobody knows, Nordstrom has been around for a really long time. And the way they've been able to stay relevant this long and like actually like if you look it up, like they're beating out a lot of their retail competitions. They don't have to close stores and all this other stuff like a lot of other places do. The reason they're doing so well in that is that their entire thing is customer service, and not just like how everybody says it. No, Nordstrom actually is all like they literally will pamper their customers to a certain degree. And as nice as it is for the customers and for them, who these CEOs of the company
trash for us.
Yeah, as nice as it is for the company and for the customers, it's terrible for the actual workers who have to do the pampering.
And the thing is, I understand, right? Like if you're someone, if I walk into a store and I'm about to drop like, I don't know, what, like $400 or $500 on a dress, I'm gonna want the most, but that's because I value my money, right? I'm gonna want someone to be nice to me, to walk me to the dressing room. I don't want to have to, where's my size? I don't want to have to do all that because I'm paying for this thing.
If you're paying for $500 dress, you definitely don't want to have to dig through like a messy, super gross section to try and even find. I get it.
I understand the logic. I understand putting the customer first and why that's so important, because it doesn't guarantee always, but it helps make sure that the customer will come back, right? And that in addition to that, they might come back to you specifically as a salesperson.
And that's kind of their bread and butter. Nordstrom thrives off of like the salesperson customer relationship.
You build your personal book, you build your
clients, basically.
Your clients.
You build up your clients and make sure they come back to you specifically to shop. And it's supposed to be in theory, on paper, a win-win situation. You make friends and like a good relationship.
You know what I thought was ridiculous?
What
did they? Well, they have to have, because they were doing it when I was still there and you're still there. There's this thing where this like app where, let's say you're at your house chilling, or let's say you're at work, right? And it's maybe a slow day, and you think about that one customer that you helped, like, oh, Mrs. What's her face is so kind. Sure. You can put together like a mood board essentially for her.
Style board,
a style board. Yep.
You
can put together pieces from the website and send her a link to it. She can open it up, and whatever she decides to buy, you can gain commission from. My problem with that is that how far up customers' asses do you have to be to take the time to do that? Sometimes it's like, bitch, if it's slow, I want to rest my feet because I'm standing up for hours. My shift has been so
Or maybe I
terrible.
want to clean my like shitty, super dirty department that I have to. Right. Like I'm not going home in a decent time unless it's clean, like there's a lot.
And when you go and tell people, your supervisors, your managers, whatever, anything, it's always, well, are you doing the most? Like, are you putting in all the effort? Are you putting together those style boards? Are you calling up your customers? Are you email them telling them there's sales going on?
Right.
And it's like, I don't have that attitude. I'm sorry, but I don't have the drive to want to sell the whole fucking store to every customer that I help.
It's a strange situation because I think it's a little outdated, to be honest.
It is.
Because if you look at a lot of Nordstrom's really loyal customers have been around for a long time. A lot of them before like online shopping was a big thing.
Yeah.
And because I get a lot of customers now who I try and go out. The crazy thing is I'll try and go out of my way and like, oh, we don't have your size. I'll order this for you. I got you. Don't worry about it. You just sit back, kick it, relax. I'll have it to you, whatever. And they're like, no, I don't want that. I want it like now. I want what I want. I want it now.
Or on the off chance that the whatever they need, I can have it like shipped to them. They'll be like, it's okay, I can do it. And it's like, yeah, you can, but I can do it for you also. And most of the time, they're like, no, I got it.
And my problem with that is when we do it, we're the experts. Like we know properly better than them how to run our own website, how to order things the right way, right? In general, I'm not saying employees don't make mistakes. Some of them suck, but if you're competent, we know what we're doing better than them. It's way more likely they'll get accidentally shipped the wrong thing if they order it compared to if we do it.
Yep.
Also, I mean, and I think that's another one of the biggest. So one of my biggest problems with this whole system, right? It's supposed to be this perfect, beautiful system of salesperson makes a good relationship with their clientele and their customer, and the customer in turn comes back to them. They get more money flowing into the salesperson. Salesperson helps out that person. Like it's supposed to be a perfect, beautiful circle of life.
Right.
The problem with it is one-sided because the clientele customer wins out 99% of the time, right? Like they get whatever they want whenever they want, no issues, right? But they can get that at the expense. It's not like helping, it's usually at the expense of us because they don't even have to think about us. Like, they see my face, they see my name tag, they put a name with the face, like, oh, Dominic is my salesperson, who, whatever. But they don't actively have to even think about, like, whether, like, what they're doing actually affected me, right? Like, they don't have to think about, like, oh, you know what, I'm going on vacation in a week, so I need a bunch of swim trunks. I want to try, like, I don't know my size, so I want to try 2 different sizes in every color.
Every single, yeah.
Yep.
Every
I want to try
color.
a total of about 10 different swim trunks, right? I want to go in the fitting room, try them all on, decide to buy one of them. Hopefully, right? Hopefully they decide to buy one of them, because sometimes that happens too where they don't. And then I just get to leave. They don't have to think about me having to go back and clean that mess. They don't have to think about, like, if they decide 3 days before it, you know what, this was a mistake, I kind of don't want it, returning it, and that coming out of my check. Like, they don't have to think, they don't have to think about us. We spend our entire job is thinking about and considering them, but they don't have to think about us. And there's not a whole lot inherently wrong with that, but it's just a flawed system, because it's like, like, I don't know,
because it means that those same people that do come in and eventually buy something, there's many times that they're coming in and not buying anything at all. Yeah. But I still have to clean up after you.
Exactly.
You still have to wait. You still get the opportunity to waste my time, and I make no money. And
and that's essentially what it comes down to, is like, most of the time our time ends up wasted with nothing to show for it.
Right.
And I go back to, you work anywhere else, even back where you were at Target, you could have customers come in there and make the biggest fitting room mess ever, but at least you're getting paid to clean it, you know?
Right.
No matter what, you are getting paid to clean it.
I'm getting my hourly. But here it's like, nope, if I didn't sell, I'm walking away with no money today.
Nope, that's just that.
And it's so frustrating. And it's frustrating that, I guess it's frustrating that that's the case, that we are commission based, or that I was, and we were in a company that didn't think about that.
Right.
It was like the last thing that they would think about. I don't know if you know this, but you can, if you buy something from Nordstrom, you can return it whenever you fucking feel like it.
Yeah. So that, there's and we really are trying to, I think a lot of this does apply to just in general commission sales, because a lot of the principles still apply. But like I said, there are a few things that are specific to our company that make it a little tougher, like the return policy. Technically, we barely have a return policy. And you know it? Do you know it's a lot more stricter now than it used to be? I don't know if you know this. Like, years back, they didn't have, like, it was literally, like, okay, now you know how with designer stuff and certain things, you have to have the tags attached.
Yeah.
That's new. That wasn't always a thing.
Yeah.
That wasn't always a thing. There's never been a time limit on it. Like, this is the only store I ever know where you could buy something and return it a year later, 2 years later. And there's
5 years later.
And the customers have a right to catch an attitude with us if we can't, like, find it and reasonably return it. Like,
sometimes they're like, well, I don't have the receipt. It doesn't have the tag. I no longer have the card because I purchased this in 2005.
But can you return it for me?
But can you return it? And I'm like...
And also, I don't want to store credit. Give me cash.
Yeah, and I don't want store credit. Like, can you just
give me cash for it?
And it's, bitch.
How? And when that happens, I legit explain to them. Sometimes I turn my monitor and show them, okay, I'm trying to find your transaction. I would love to give you your money back, but I can't even find this transaction from years back because my computer, I don't even know if it lets me look that far back. Like, it's not even a... What?
It's horrible. It's so bad. And then the problem is it'll come right out of your check.
Yeah.
So like, if you sold something a year ago, if it's within the year, you'll just be in the negatives because they decided to return it.
Yeah. That's how that goes.
Isn't that crazy?
It's insane. And it's only...
And you can wear the stuff, guys. Like, you can go and buy
you're giving all the secrets out.
This isn't a secret. Like, you can Google this. You can go and wear like a whole outfit, the shoes and everything, and decide, like, you know what? I think I want my money back. There doesn't even have to be a problem. And you'll go to the store and someone there is bound to, just about everybody there. Yeah. Will be like, oh, we're sorry to hear that this didn't work out for you.
You really want to know the key word, what you got to say, in order to get pretty much anybody to do it. If you go in there, and even if you're lying, if you just say, oh, these didn't work out, but I think I want to exchange it for something else, guarantee that salesperson will drag you around, find whatever else they want to guarantee that you want to get, so they can get that commission for the new thing.
No,
and
for us it was always just like,
they'll just return your old thing for you.
Like, I'm not gonna fight with this person, because I know the second they ask to speak to my manager or like anybody else in the store, they're gonna tell them like, oh yeah, sure, yeah, of course, we'll give it to you in cash.
Exactly. So it's
no
like,
worries.
Why even?
So I'm not gonna get yelled at. So, but I guess that's an issue with
and that's commission sales and customer service in general, right?
Yeah.
And
the two partnered, what a fucking duo. Like,
exactly, because commission sales already has its own challenges as far as like trying not to get your time wasted and trying to get compensated.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah. You can go to work, you can spend 6 hours there and
have your time wasted.
No money.
Exactly,
no money.
That's insane to me.
It's garbage. It's trash. I don't understand how so many people. Well, I guess it just comes down to that. Like the people that are there for years and years, they just have the right personality.
They just got it. Yeah, they just got it. They got what it takes. I don't. But good for them, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. And like you said, when you couple that whole thing along with the normal customer service issues that you're going to deal with everywhere, like returns and other things, then it just becomes a nightmare. Like, I can't imagine what it's like. I can't imagine, like, when I was at Walmart and I worked in the toy section, I can't imagine if I sold someone a bike, like help them out, pick it out or whatever, because I still did that type of thing over there, but at least I knew for sure I was getting paid whatever, regardless whether they bought it or not. But I can't imagine helping them pick out that bike, letting them ride it, whatever. They return it 2 weeks later and that comes out of my check. I'd have been like, excuse me, what? Like, wait a minute, hold on.
Yeah.
Like, no, forget that.
And it's crazy. I've had people return stuff. I worked in swim and active.
Yeah.
I've had grown women return stuff with like yellow armpit stains. And they'll be
cute.
Like, oh, it came like this. And I'm like, bitch, I know it didn't.
I sold it to you.
There's no way
your
dumbass would buy this thing with yellow ass armpit stains. Like, no, you wore it to your little Sunday yoga class and then decided it didn't look that nice, and now you're returning it, and I have to give you the money back. I have to accept that this commission is just going to come right out of my check
or someone else's. Yeah, exactly. And I think what it comes down to is Nordstrom has created this like breeding ground, this like perfect environment for already kind of well-off privileged people to just thrive. They get to go,
because there's no way that like you're dropping hundreds of dollars on like one article of clothing if you don't already, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, you're not in the, it's not like you need this money back desperately.
Nope, I doubt it. I mean, there's exceptions to the rule always, for sure, but you know, let's be real. Like, if you have money to come in and buy like Burberry swim trunks for $300, I highly doubt that you need that back the next week, or else you're gonna lose your house. You know what I mean? Like, like it's not that deep. You know. But they create this environment because, you know, they're all about the customer, which is cool if you're the customer. But if you're not the customer, and you just have to, like, if you're one of us working for it, we just have to grin it, bear it, and it's just not a good time, you know? It's not even that we don't like helping people. It's just so much.
I think it's the problem. We talked about this also, is that you can't even fault the company too hard, because they're doing everything right to make themselves look like a great company.
Yeah, they are.
It's the same issue that I had with Target, is that from a customer perspective, you feel like, oh, I'm doing a good thing spending my money here, as opposed to like any other company that maybe doesn't do all the progressive like
right yeah, because that's another thing too. Nordstrom also, like, their main claim to fame is a customer service, but they also in recent years have been like a more progressive company thing, you know, like they march in like pride parades and stuff and like cool little things like that. They do employee charitable donations, matches. It's like a thing where if you want, for an employee, let's say you have a charity that you really care deeply about, you can take parts of your check, put it towards a charity, and Nordstrom will like match that, so basically double it, which is a really good thing. Like, good for them, you know, that's not a bad thing. But like you said, it's just,
that doesn't mean that it's okay for you not to
take care of your workers, like,
not to take care of your workers. Yeah,
because that's what it comes down to. Like, they're not really looking out for us. I don't know. It's rough. But that's the reason I'm out.
We'll soon be 2 unemployed podcasters.
That'll
be the only thing we can call ourselves.
Unemployed. That sounds kind of fun.
Well, that's been me lately. So No big differences here. I wonder if I'm sure everybody could piece that together. Like I quit.
Maybe
or I
so.
left and just stopped answering my phone calls.
I don't know. I mean, you did sound like just a cool, like, if they really listen to every episode and put together their personality, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody legit was just like, she's that type of girl. She would just walk out of a job, like, just do it, you know? Maybe that you didn't necessarily mean that she did it on this one, but she just would, like, just so y'all know, I would.
Well, that makes the last two jobs, like the last two jobs I've had, I've walked out of.
Hey,
so that's
lucky number 3, you know?
Yeah, lucky number 3. I'm going to apply to a bank and then walk out of that one too.
Well, I mean, technically Lyft's the third one, so maybe you could.
That's not a...
That's not...
I don't think it's... I mean...
Do you have to put a resignation letter in when you want to stop driving?
You just stop. I put in a resignation letter every day when I turn off the driver mode. I'm like, and I'm done.
I'm retiring for the day.
For the day. I'm done for the day, guys.
I
mean, I didn't drive for like months at a time.
Yeah.
And then when I opened the app, it was like, you ready? Like,
yeah.
They were so like, I was like, oh, okay,
yeah. Yeah, I'll take you back.
I thought I'd have to like reapply. No.
It was just like, yeah, you ready?
I didn't drive for months. Probably for like, yeah, I don't know how long, but it's pretty cool. But I think that's it for our episode this week, guys. I know it was super whiny, but
it was a little all over the place. But you know, I mean, we'll
have something stellar next week.
For sure. You gonna hold us to that? Put that pressure up already?
On one episode, we mentioned like doing the Tinder thing where you can like meet up with other groups of friends. Yeah. And then we didn't do it.
Did we say we were going to do that next week? I thought we just said we would try that.
I said we were going to do it. And I was like, we'll come back next episode. And then
you
that
absolutely said that. I remember. Okay, well, okay, I think we can.
Okay, so
within the next 2 weeks,
I don't even know how to make that happen, but yeah, within the next 2 weeks.
I have an idea. We'll if Tinder still offers that, because I'm not sure that they do. I haven't really looked at it, but if Tinder still offers that, then we will do that within the next 2 weeks, because I'm not gonna have a lot of money to go out until Saturday at least, and we record on Sunday, so maybe we could do it Saturday night.
Have a wild Saturday, and then on Sunday come back.
Hey guys, so we're hungover.
No, I probably can't do anything this weekend. But yeah, okay, that was too much of inside info. Like just us at the end of this podcast, our weekend plans. A quick reminder: we are on Instagram and Twitter as DS Degrees, and YouTube, Spotify, and iTunes. Our full title: D's Don't Get Degrees. Yep.
Check us out. Share us with your friends. You know, if you like two whiny people just whining about their no, I'm just kidding. But if you enjoy this genuinely at any given moment, like any of the episodes, because they're all a little different.
Yeah.
Tell people.
Next episode, we'll get into politics. So be on your toes, guys, because we got some opinions.
I didn't know that. Okay, I guess that's what's happening, y'all.
We got a mixed bag here. I got some stuff to say.
Okay. I'm afraid. But yeah, I think that's it. All right.
Listen out. Next episode, Monday. Upload every Monday.
Yep. We're uploading every Monday. Like she said, YouTube, Spotify, iTunes. Check us out. But this is it. We're going to sign off for tonight.
For tonight.
for tonight, whenever you listen
for the day, for the week.
We're signing out. This is Dominic.
This is Jessica.
And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.